Hi there, my name is Madame Alana McLean. I'm a French immersion teacher in Nova Scotia, Canada. Today, I'm going to teach you about Pixton. Now, I know your students probably love graphic novels, and this is one of the coolest tools to bring their graphic novels and their stories to life. I know that using new tech tools can be a bit intimidating, so my goal is to make it easy for you. When you first log on to Pixton and you've signed up with your teacher account, you can then go along the top to My Classrooms and click the button to add a new classroom. Simply give your class a name. I can select the grades, and there's options for accessibility too, allowing wheelchairs, hearing aids, and options for non-binary genders. The next step is getting students signed in. This is made easy with Google IDs. You can also notice here there's a how-to video about how to log in with Google IDs. You'd select Choose, and it would connect directly to your Google Classroom with a copy link. The first step with Pixton is to create your avatar. In the top right corner, you'll see a settings wheel. Clicking on that will bring up the option Edit My Avatar. Now my avatar is already created, but you will have the option of going through all kinds of menus to customize and personalize your avatar. Now it's time for you to create your very first comic. First, you have to go to My Comics and Create Now. When you open it up, you're going to see that there's lots of different options, including background, characters. You can change the focus of your comic, and you can add words. Selecting a setting or a background for your story could be a huge source of inspiration for some really creative writing. Here, I've selected a background that's space, but as you can see, you can search specific terms and find a background of your choice. If I wanted to change different effects in my background, I could also change things like making it dusk or even nighttime. I could add weather, maybe it's raining in my story. And there are other kinds of icons along the bottom, so you should take some time and explore those. Now it's time to bring your comic to life with some characters. The really cool thing is that you can add yourself right in, but you can also add the students from your class. Once they've joined, all the students in the class will appear. Here's my class from last year. Let's say I wanted to add myself into the story. I simply click on my avatar and I get added in. Now I can customize my avatar too. And I can have different kind of focus, which means that I could be right front and center, I could be walking or moving to the right side of the screen, and everything in between. Another important thing to know is that you can change the actions of your character. Now, if I wanted my character to just be stumbling upon something all of a sudden, maybe she's ready to fight in a battle, I can add that in. Now I've added a villain, she's flying through the air, and there's some cool special effects. You can change what they say, and you can also change if it's a speech bubble, shouting bubble, or a thinking bubble. There's so much you can do to customize your story. One last thing that I have to show you, and it's a really cool tip that can help students understand the difference between a mediocre and a great comic. There's an interactive rubric that comes along with Pixton. Let's have a look. To access the interactive rubric, you first have to go into My Classrooms, open up the class page, and then go into Student Comments. Then you'll see a red button that says Interactive Rubric. This wonderful tool can really help students build some success criteria to make their comics great. You can look at the difference between a comic that is oops all the way to mint. For example, a background and focus rated oops means that there's very limited changes in the background and the focus on the characters doesn't change. In comparison, if we look at mint, we can see the characters are getting closer and the backgrounds are changing as they're moving through their story. You can do the same things for characters and expression. For example, this guy here is shouting and it says, "You'll both go to the principal's office." To me, that tells me he should be looking angry, but his face looks really neutral, as does everybody else's. If we look at the example with mint, you can see everybody's faces now match exactly what they're saying and go with the context of the story. The other sections you can look at are captions and dialogue, spelling and grammar, theme, and sharing. I hope this video gave you some confidence in starting Pixton with your class. My class absolutely loved it, and it has so many applications. My students created math story problems. You could do concepts related to science or social studies. You could use it as an exit slip. And we did an entire unit on a graphic novel study, taking books out of the library, studying how authors share their messages, and then making their own using Pixton. I hope you have a great time making stories with your students. Good luck!